Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from the Singapore FinTech Festival, and joining me for this topic, we have Dante Disparte, Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Global Policy at Circle. We're here to discuss the impact of the U.S. election on stablecoins and digital assets. Dante, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you.
It's over. we could take, a collective sigh of relief that at least we have some sort of a result, Trump with the second term. What are the results? What do you think the impact could potentially be on the industry?
Yeah, well, for one, I think it is a sigh of relief to know that we have an electoral outcome. Right. We're not counting votes as we were back in 2000, which took quite a long time to certify an election. But I do think it also, hopefully we could breathe that same sigh of relief that you just had about this election. Whether you like the outcome or not, what I do think we're going to get for digital assets is legal and regulatory clarity. Mm-hmm. Not only was this a major campaign commitment from candidate Trump, it is now a potential for a major campaign promise from President-elect Trump that he could deliver. You have seen already this year a lot of legal and regulatory clarity not only around the world, but now you have, of course, a Senate that has an opportunity to make good on stablecoin legislation, crypto market structure legislation that already enjoys bipartisan support. We've seen that in 2024. There's a likelihood that you can see this even in the lame duck session of Congress, if not obviously early in 2025.
Yeah, which I think is encouraging because we do hear that a lot, how there's frameworks in place in other areas of the world, and really the US getting on board with that could be the catalyst for the next phase of adoption, just so companies are able to figure out how they can operate in different environments. I mean, it's multi-jurisdictional for better or for worse, and we need to be able to have that framework to kind of get it to the next phase.
Yep.
What's your overall macro view then in terms of moving this regulatory regime on and what that could be for the space?
Sure, well I think first of all, the price signal that you've seen not only in Bitcoin pricing reaching 75,000, broad growth in stablecoin circulation is sort of at least the initial market reaction of this election and this electoral outcome signals that US legal regulatory clarity coming quickly would effectively really be an unlock for the market across the board. The United States is the outlier country right now in not having legal clarity for stablecoins. For example, in Europe, when the Europeans put out the Markets and Crypto Assets Framework, Circle was the very first firm in line, and both of our stablecoins, USDC and our Euro stablecoin, are legally treated as electronic money across all of Europe. But to an American, it should be unconscionable that digital dollars enjoy more legal clarity in Europe than they do in the United States at the federal level. And so of course we have a job to do in the United States in terms of bringing this sector online. I also would categorically reject the notion that crypto companies and crypto people want lawlessness. What they have asked for and what they've clamored for years is rules, and where the rules are put in motion, developers can build, capital can flow, companies can thrive, and you start to see lots of competition. And I think what we should expect in 2025 is the US will join a community of countries and jurisdictions around the world that have already brought this from a regulatory vantage point into the perimeter and onshore.
And that's what's so refreshing about being at conferences like the Singapore FinTech Festival, because you get out of that US and Western mindset where you see how the potential of digital currencies to drive economic growth and financial inclusion. Billions of people are using this type of currency to transact, whether it's cross-border payments or other solutions that they're finding, whether it's capital forms of raising capital, if you will, alternative forms of that. It really is driving ahead this digital economy. We don't want to lose the brain drain. We don't want the innovation to go elsewhere. We don't want to lose our spot as a leader in the global capital markets.
Right.
And you're seeing what's happening on the ground in terms of building new economies.
Totally. Well, look, here in ASEAN and here in Singapore at the Singapore FinTech Festival, fintech innovation is not happening because these countries and these regions want to. They need to. These are distributed island economies. These are, of course, important and enormous economies with different currencies. And fintech innovation is the connective tissue, at least in the financial sector, that has not only maintained economic competitiveness and attractiveness for each of these countries, it's also what could potentially unite them and unite their consumers, their end users, and their markets. Obviously, in the digital asset world, the US dollar is the reference currency for all of crypto activity around the world. Stablecoins, more than $170 billion of stablecoins reference the US dollar. And so the opportunity to now fill that void of US clarity and US leadership not only will make these products exports, it will also expand the opportunity to continue investing in these products where you will get legal and regulatory clarity on what is a security, what is a commodity, and what is a digital currency innovation. So for that, we should be incredibly encouraged. There may be uncertainty about what transitions look like. There may be uncertainty around, obviously, the state of the world. It has a lot of uncertainty in it from risk and other vantage points. But from a macro view, if you're a fintech investor, if you're a digital asset investor, if you're a crypto investor, there is a lot to feel optimistic about in 2025.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Appreciate the insight as always, Dante. Thanks for joining us on
Thank
Trade
you,
Talks.
Jill.
And thanks for joining me from the Singapore FinTech Fest. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.